कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च तेरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So last time we have seen till 3.30. So 3.30 we have discussed about purpose of Bhagavad Gita. What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? So when actually you will be happy and when actually you will be not happy, unhappy. So if you are discharging duties in Krishna consciousness, then you will be happy. And if you are discharging duty independently, then you will be unhappy. So we have seen that how to discharge duties as in military discipline. Act according to Varnashrama Dharma, discharge all your duties in Krishna consciousness. And what is Adhyatma Chetas, Nirashi hai, Mai unto me, Vigat Jwara, Nirmama, free from sense of proprietorship. Nirmama means free from all sense of proprietorship. Everything belongs to Lord Sri Krishna. Nothing belongs to me. I am no one. I am nobody. Okay. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishwana. So I am like a grass on which I am like a grass. I am like a tree. Tarorapi sahishwana. So Sahishnu like tree and Sunichena like grass. So this we have discussed in purpose of Bhagavad Gita in 3.30. So today we'll see 3.31 onwards. Chapter 3, 3.31. So what is 3.31? Results. So 3.31 to 32 says results of acting or not acting according to Lord's instructions. So if you are acting according to Lord's instruction and if you are not acting according to Lord's instruction, what will happen? What is the result of both? So we'll discuss that in 3.31 and 32. So 3.31. ये मे मतम इदम नित्यम अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेभिः कर्मभिः. Those persons who execute their duties according to my instructions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. So, ye me matam idam nityam anutiष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न शूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेभि कर्मभिः. Okay, so those who act according to my instructions, they don't face any difficulty in their life and they can easily cross beyond the ocean of material life. Okay, so how to follow? So Lord Krishna is saying how to follow with faith and without envy. So Lord Krishna is saying how to follow. There are two things. So you have to follow with faith and you have to follow without any envy. If you are envious of me, like Kansa and all, then that is not good. So it has got different result. Okay, so if you are following according to my instructions with faith, so that is known as firm faith. Okay, so if you are following me, my instructions, my instructions with firm faith, then there is a 101% surety of success. You will get success in your life. You can easily cross beyond this material ocean of life. Okay, and if you don't have firm faith, then what will happen? No benefit. You are wasting your time. Never gets liberated. No, you will not get liberation in your life. Examples like some philosophers, they throughout their life just try to cross the material ocean of life, but they are not able to do it. Why? Because they don't have firm faith. Okay, so it's like if you are studying, if you're not understanding it properly in a proper manner with practical approach, you will not remember for a long time. Okay, you will not understand the concept. Okay, similarly, if you are following the Lord's injunction, but there is no faith, then you will not be able to carry out it properly. So there will be many hurdles in your path. Okay, and if you are following with firm faith, what will happen? Freedom from all bondage. You will be free from all bondage. What Lord is saying? Shraddha vanto na suyanto muchyante tevi karma bhi. So if you are following it with faith, firm faith, there is surety of success, and you will be get free from all bondage. So this is the result of following. So that is 3.31. 3.32 saying that what is the, if you are not following, if you are not following it properly, then what will happen? So that is told in 3.32. Ye tva etad avyasuyanto nanutiष्ठन्ति me matam sarva jnana vimunastan vidhi nashtan achetasah. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bare feet of all knowledge, be fooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So if you are not following with firm faith the instructions of Lord, then what will happen? You will not get success. So you will be failure in all your endeavors of action. So you will not be perfect. There will be no perfection in your activities if you don't have firm faith in Lord's instructions. Okay, ye tva etad avyasuyanto nanutiष्ठन्ति me matam sarva jnana vimunastan vidhi nashtan achetasah. So those who out of envy disregard these teachings, so whatever I have taught you, if you disregard, if you don't have firm faith, then do not follow them regularly, are to be considered bare feet of all knowledge. So you are bare feet of all knowledge, be fooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. There is no meaning, wastage of time. You are simply just wasting your time. The Lord is saying, if you are not following my instructions with firm faith properly, then you will be failure in your life. Out of envy, disregards the teachings and do not follow. So 3.32 says that if you are following out of envy, disregards the teachings and do not follow them, what will happen? You are bare feet of all knowledge. Okay, so bare feet of all knowledge means self as well as Supreme Brahman. Bare feet of all knowledge means what? You don't know yourself. What is your purpose of life? Who are you? Body, knowledge about body and soul. You're not aware of that. What is body? What is soul? So that is self knowledge. And forget about Supreme Brahman. Supreme Brahman in forms of in three ways. Okay, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. So if you don't know Lord in three ways, then you are bare feet of all kinds of knowledge. You are befooled, ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So analogy for disobedience, as there is punishment for disobedience to order of supreme executive head. Okay, like if you are going to office, you don't obey your boss, if you don't obey your supervisor, if you don't obey your just above you, then you will be punished. Okay, in some or the other way, you will be punished. Similarly, there is punishment for disobedience to order of supreme personality of Godhead also. Okay, if you are not following Lord's instructions, you are just doing anything whimsically. So, and if you are not following it properly, you will be punished. So, wherever you are breaking the rules, you will be punished. It may be in material life or it may be in spiritual life. So wherever you break the rule, you will be punished. That is, Lord is saying, Lord Himself is saying that if you are not following my rules and regulations, injunctions given in Vedas, injunctions given by in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are so many books written by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada has suggested that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. And this Hare Krishna Mahamantra was given by Lord Chaitanya, who was incarnation of Lord Krishna himself. So Lord Krishna himself has said, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra always. Okay, and you will be happy. You will be liberated from all your sinful life. You can easily cross beyond this material life, this ocean of material life. So Lord Krishna is very practical, that or he has suggested a very practical instruction, that if you are following the instructions, then and you have firm faith, then you will get 100%. There is a surety of success. And if you are not following the instructions given by me, then there will be you will be failure, and you will be failure in all your endeavors of perfection. However, you try for to be perfect in your life, but you will not get success. You will not be perfect. You will be failure in all your endeavors of perfection. So that is 3.32 and 3.31. 3.33. So everyone acts according to his own conditional nature and material desires. Text 3.33 says everyone acts according to his own conditional nature and material desires. What is conditional nature? Goodness, passion, ignorance. So whatever activities you perform belongs to these three things: goodness, passion, ignorance. Satogun, rajogun, tamogun. Okay. So 3.33. सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः प्रकृतेर्ज्ञानवान् अपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रह किं करिष्यति. So even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? What are the three modes? Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Goodness, passion, ignorance. So whatever activities, XYZ activities throughout your life you perform belongs to either goodness or passion or ignorance. Okay. So if, even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. So it belongs to goodness, passion, ignorance. So person may be belongs to Brahman, then Kshatriya, then Vaishya, then Sudra. Whatever they perform belongs to these three modes of activities. That is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So it is also said in 7.14, Daivahi esha gunamayi mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Okay, so this divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So those who have surrendered, there are so many three modes of material nature activities are performed. But if you have surrendered unto me, you can easily cross beyond this material ocean. Okay, Daiva hi esa gunamayi mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So you can easily cross beyond it. If you have surrendered unto me, you can easily cross beyond it. Okay, even a man of knowledge act according to his own nature. So let it be any intelligence man, intelligent man, uh, belong to higher caste and very knowledgeable person, but whatever activities he perform belongs to only three modes. Okay, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Satogud, Rajogud, and Tamogud. So nature is acquired from three modes. So what is nature? Nature is acquired from three modes. So as you can see in the picture, here, that how these three material natures are handling the activities of these persons. These three these three persons, three are belongs to goodness, passion, and ignorance. So whatever activities you are performing belongs to three modes of material nature, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, so higher education fails to help in this case. So even if you have PhD, doctorate, MD, MBBS, MD, whatever qualification you have, but after that, when you perform activity, it belongs to these three modes of material nature. So you cannot separate it out. So by default, whatever a man performs, maybe Shudra or maybe uh, Brahman. Okay. Whatever activities perform, all these kinds of persons belongs to three modes of material nature. It is not like that a Sudra is performing, it belongs to these three modes of nature, and if a Brahmana is performing some activity, it belongs to beyond these three modes of nature. So Brahmana can perform whatever activities perform belong to goodness, and Shudra can perform any particular activity. It may belong to goodness or it may belong to ignorance. It is not like the Shudra is performing every time it belongs to ignorance only. So even Shudra can perform few good things also, which may belong to goodness. So whatever activities anybody from Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra performing these four categories of persons, performing any activity belongs to these three categories: goodness, passion, ignorance. Okay. So impossible to get out of Maya by theoretical knowledge. So if you have a higher knowledge, if you are a very intelligent person, but these are material qualification. These material qualification, PhD, MBBS, MD, these are the material qualifications. So you having these knowledge, you cannot cross beyond the material ocean. Whatever activities you perform will belongs to these three modes of material nature. So it is very impossible to get out of Maya by theoretical knowledge. So called spiritualist in bondage because of long association of material nature. Why? Because when you get birth on this earth in this material nature, so you have a right from your birth to the youth or in old age, you are in this material nature. You are performing in this material nature. You are acting, you are playing, you are thinking. So all things belongs to three modes of material. So it's not easy task to come out of this. But if you are spiritually strong, you are in Krishna consciousness, you can easily cross beyond it. Daiva hi esa gunamayi mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti. Whatever you perform belongs to three modes of material nature. But if you have surrendered unto me, you can easily cross beyond it. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. So this bondage is very strong, right from birth, youth to old age. You are performing in these three modes of material nature. So it is not an easy task to come out of this. So what is the solution? Devahi Esha Gudmai, given in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so if you are in transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness is gradual process. So if you are in Krishna consciousness, this consciousness is a gradual process, helps to get out of material entanglement by engaging in material prescribed duties. So you can involve yourself in material activities, but in Krishna consciousness, even if you are involved in material activities, you will be like a lotus flower being in water, but water will not touch you. Okay, so similarly you can perform your activities in material platform, but that material things will not touch you if you have, if you are in Krishna consciousness. So no one should suddenly give up prescribed duties artificially. That is also not good. You should not give up your artificial activities. No, I don't want to be in material life because here all things are belongs to that satogud, rajogud, tamogud, goodness, passion, ignorance. So I don't want to do anything now. I will take rest. I will go to forest. I will become a renunciant person, and I will jump Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is not allowed for, this is not worth in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, what is allowed? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, Lord Krishna himself has told that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Always 24 hours chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 24 hours means what? Whatever activities you are performing, just remember Krishna. Oh Krishna, you have given me this task, I will do it. And whatever result belongs to that, you say, look after it. Okay, so whatever you are doing, you just offer it to Krishna. So result, you offer the result to Krishna, so Krishna will purify it for you, and then you can use for your purpose. Okay, so no one should suddenly give up prescribed duties artificially, okay, and go to the forest and start doing tapasya. Okay, stay in one's own position and try to attain Krishna consciousness under superior training. Okay, before that, like in any job if you go, so training is provided. Similarly here, in spiritual life also training is required. How training is required? You can work under some devotees, okay, senior devotees, and you can take training how to perform devotional service. Then after retired life, you can think about sannyasa. Directly taking sannyasa may be dangerous because you are not trained. If you are not trained and if you are go on site and if you start working, so that you may not be able to perform it properly. Even if you have knowledge, theoretical knowledge, but you may not be able to get perfection. So for that you need to have better training under senior devotees so that you can be perfect, you can become perfect. Okay? This is 3.33. 3.34 talks about attachment and aversion, stumbling blocks on path of self realization. Okay, so attachment, if you are attached, then this is the stumbling blocks on path of self realization. So 3.34 talks about stumbling blocks on path of self realization. इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषो व्यवस्थितो तयोर्नावसम् आगच्छेत् तौ हि आस्य परिपन्थिनो. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self realization. Okay, इंद्रियस्य इंद्रियस्यार्थे राग द्वेषो व्यवस्थितो तयोर्न तयोर्न वसम आगच्छेत तौ हि आस्य परिपंथिनो. So there are attachment and aversion. So these attachment and aversions are stumbling blocks on the path of self realization. Okay, so you must be properly trained under a senior devotee how to perform devotional service without attachment and aversion. Why? Because these attachment and aversion are stumbling blocks on the path of self realization. These are dangerous. So you should know properly how to get out of it. Okay, so these attachment and aversions are the cause of material engagement. Okay, so these are because of unrestricted sense enjoyment. Unrestricted. There are restricted sense enjoyment. What is the restricted sense enjoyment? Okay, if you want to have sex lives, you can get married. So there are proper method for that. Okay, so if you want to enjoy sex life, you can get married. There are proper methods in our Vedas, given in our Vedas. Following their injunctions, you can enjoy that particular life. Okay, and if you have those things in your mind, that attachment you have in your mind, sense enjoyment you have in your mind, and if you get renunciation, you go to forest, still you have that desire. It is like when you go to doctor, you have a particular disease, you have a cough and cold, you go to particular doctor, and doctor says no, don't take cold things like cold drink and uh, uh, custard, like any cold things, ice ice cream and all. So it doesn't mean that you lose the taste of ice cream or any cold drink. Okay, so doctor has suggested you for a particular time period that 2 3 days, 1 week, 10 days, you don't take any cold thing, so you'll be relieved from the cold problem. And if you take that, then you will not be relieved from that particular disease. Okay, so when doctor is saying don't take it, it doesn't mean that you lose the taste of that particular cold drink or ice cream for particular 10 days. Okay, you still have the taste. Okay, and it is similarly, if you want to enjoy sex life and you go to the forest, you are not properly trained. So what will happen? You will go to the forest and you will start searching how I enjoy sex life. Okay, so before going to forest, you must be properly trained. For that, we have been given varnashrama. Okay, in varnashrama we have a brahmacharya life. Then we have a household life, then we have sannyasa life. Okay, so there are different stages. So if you are going by that particular stages, and then you, after brahmacharya life, you can study, you can learn, and then you can go to the grihastha life. Grihastha life, you can get married, you can enjoy sex life, you can have children, krishna conscious children you can have. And then after some time, after 50, after 60, you can get retired from your household life, and you can go to the sannyasa life. So it is the properly steps are there. Okay. So directly going to forest without proper training, attachment, aversion, these are the stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization, because of which you will fall down. Okay, so how to get out of this material engagement? Never come under control of attachment and aversion, following the rules of the revealed scriptures. Following the rules of revealed scriptures. As long as material body is there, necessities of material body are allowed under rules of scriptures. Okay, if you are young, you want to enjoy sex life, you can get married and you can enjoy, and you can have Krishna conscious children, and later on you can go to the sannyasa. Okay, there are rules and regulations given in our scriptures, in our Vedas. So Lord Krishna himself is saying that these are the rules, there are Vedas mentioned in there are rules and regulations mentioned in Vedas. Okay, it is not like similarly you can go to the forest and take sannyas. Okay, so never come under control of attachment and aversion. What will happen? These are the stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Okay, attachment means to senses and objects of senses. Aversion means from Krishna consciousness. If you are attached, you will be away from Krishna consciousness. Okay, so best attachment is loving service to Krishna leads to detachment. How you can detach from the attachment? You can practice devotional service. You can have Krishna consciousness in your mind. Think about Krishna, love Krishna. Automatically, you will be detached from material life. Okay, how you can avoid aversion? Avoid detachment from Krishna consciousness at any stage of life. Okay, how you can avoid Krishna consciousness? By avoiding detachment from Krishna consciousness at any stage of life. Okay, so if you don't want to go away from Krishna consciousness, avoid detachment from Krishna consciousness. The purpose of all detachment is getting situated in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so in short, if I say, if you want to attach with Krishna, love Krishna, think about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and be happy. And aversion from Krishna consciousness, detachment from material consciousness. If you are detaching from material consciousness, you will be attaching to Krishna consciousness. That is 3.34. It is clearly mentioned. Then we have 3.35. श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः. So it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. So whatever duties you have been assigned, do it perfectly. Even if you are not doing it perfectly, with some mistake, but you do it because you are born with that. It is your nature. And if you are able to perform others' duty perfectly, that is not good. That is not good. It is better you perform your duty which you have got from your nature with some for mistake. That is allowed. So distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties. For to follow another's path is dangerous. Following another's path is very, very dangerous. Okay, if you are a Brahmana, if you are following Kshatriya, it may be dangerous. But if you are in Krishna consciousness, you are a Brahmana, you can perform Kshatriya's job. You feel that killing a particular person is worth saving the society, then you can become Kshatriya. And if you are a Kshatriya, you need that the particular society must be educated. You can become Brahmana and you can teach society. You can give education. So in Krishna consciousness, it is allowed. Why? If you are in Krishna consciousness, you are following the instructions of Supreme Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is so mercy that he allows his devotees to change his duty from Brahmana to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahmana. So Lord Parashuram was Brahmana, but he became Kshatriya because it was required for the betterment of society. Whereas so it was the example of Parashurama. So in 3.35, follow one's own prescribed duties. Follow one's own prescribed. Whatever duties you have been given, perform it. With some mistake, it is allowed. If you are committing some mistake, it is allowed. Okay, even though you can do another's duty without any mistake, that is not allowed. Okay, so purpose of performing prescribed duties, everyone has to cleanse heart by gradually performing devotional service according to modes acquired. Understanding the purpose of Krishna consciousness. Why we are doing prescribed duties? To understand the purpose of Krishna consciousness. So prescribed duties under the direction of authorized people. People should only do one's own prescribed duties. Okay. So prescribed duties, reason why not follow others' prescribed duties? It creates the option to reject one's own duty. Okay. So if you are not performing your duty concentrated, what will happen? You will look here and there. Oh, he is doing so, he is doing so. So I can do it better. What will happen? It will disturb your current duty. Okay. So don't look at them. It creates the option in your mind. So option is not good. Option is not good. So it creates the option to reject one's own duty if it proves uncomfortable, and thus accepting and rejecting based on sense gratification. Okay, you will feel that, oh, I'll do it, I will be benefited, I will enjoy so and so thing. So you will be in fruity, you will be put into fruity activity. Okay, better not to look at them. Prescribed duties are not only for purification but also for a stable society of different integrated parts. Okay, it's like a Sudra start performing Brahmana's duty, which is not good. Kshatriya starts doing duty of Brahmana, which is also not good. So prescribed duties has to be performed. So these are for purification. Why we should perform prescribed duties? Because we are purified by that. If one decides to change his activities, those dependent on him for certain needs may be let down. Okay, you should not follow it. Okay, that I will be benefited, I will enjoy, by I will have more wealth, I will become proprietor, I will become lord. All these fruity objects will come in your mind. So giving up one's natural work is very difficult. Engaging in unnatural work promotes dissatisfaction, and thus the risk of fall down to immorality escalates. Okay, so if you don't perform one's own duty, then there are chances you may fall down. Okay, prescribed duty, materially prescribed duties, and spiritual duties. What is materially prescribed duties? Based on one's psychophysical condition, under spell of modes, and spiritual duties ordered by spiritual master for growth in Krishna consciousness. So material prescribed duties and spiritual prescribed duties. There are two types of prescribed duties. Material prescribed duties acting based on the influence of modes. Brahmana in mode of goodness should be non-violent. Kshatriya in mode of passion can become violent. Okay, so Kshatriya can become violent, but Brahmana cannot become violent. Kshatriya cannot become Brahmana, Brahmana cannot become Kshatriya. So you have to act based on the influence of modes. So this is the materially prescribed duties. But if you are spiritually performing your duties ordered by spiritual master, acting based on the direction of spiritual master for spiritual progress. So if you spiritual master says you are a Kshatriya, you become Brahmana, you can become. You are a Brahmana, you can become Kshatriya, you can become. So when you are changing your duties, prescribed duties, you are under the Krishna consciousness. Under the Krishna consciousness means you are following Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. You are following your order of spiritual master. You are following the order of Lord Krishna. You are following the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So under this, you can perform anything and everything. Can perform anything and everything under the direction of bona fide spiritual master Vishwamitra and Parashuram. So Parashuram was Brahmana, but his spiritual master asked him become Kshatriya and remove this earth from all the Kshatriyas. So 21 times he killed all the Kshatriyas from this earth. Parashuram, he was a Brahmana, he became violent as and when required because he was in Krishna consciousness and he was Lord himself. Lord Parashurama was a Brahmana, born in Brahma family, but later on he became Kshatriya because it was the order of his spiritual master. Vishwamitra was a Kshatriya, but later on he became Brahmana. It was the order of his spiritual master. So he followed that. So if you are under Krishna consciousness, you can change your prescribed duties. But if you are not in Krishna consciousness, you are in materially prescribed duties, performing materially prescribed duties. So you should perform your prescribed duties. With some mistake, it is allowed. Okay, it is not like that. If you should perform perfectly your prescribed duties. With some mistake, it is allowed. Okay, so this is so acting based on the direction of spiritual master for spiritual progress. That is spiritual duties. Only when one transcends the modes and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness. So this is allowed in spiritual duties. You can change, but it is allowed when one transcends the modes and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness. So the only condition is that you are in Krishna consciousness, then only it is allowed, otherwise not. Okay, so this is the 3.33. 3.35. Then there is summary 3.36 to 3.43. So in 3.36 to 43, it is said that be aware of lust and anger. So these are the lust, anger, and greed. These three are enemy of our spiritual life. Okay, so from 36 to 43, it is said, be aware of lust, the soul's sinful, all devouring enemy. Through lust, sitting in the senses, mind, and intelligence, the soul's knowledge is covered. By regulating the sense and thorough, spiritually strong intelligence, one should fix himself in his pure identity as a servant of Krishna and thereby conquer lust. So be aware of lust, the soul's sinful, all devouring enemy. So lust is all devouring enemy. The lust only asks soul to perform sinful activities. So it is the enemy of soul. Sitting in senses, mind, and intelligence. Where lust is found? Senses, mind, intelligence. So the soul's knowledge is covered. The soul's knowledge is covered. So by regulating the senses and through spiritually strong intelligence, one should fix himself in pure identity as a servant of Krishna and thereby conquer lust. So if you want to conquer lust, how you can do that? Perform devotional service. And what is the sitting places of lust? Senses, mind, intelligence. These are the three sitting places of lust. 3.36, we'll see. What one is one impelled to sinful act as if by force. अर्जुन उवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेय बलादीव नियोजितः. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what one is impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force. Okay? Soul is so pure, but by lust it is impure. And what is the sitting places of lust? Senses, mind, intelligence. Okay. So Arjuna said, Atha kena Arjuna uvacha Atha kena prayuktoyam papam chariti purushah anichan api vašneya baladiva niyojitah. So by what? Arjuna is asking to Krishna, Lord Krishna, by what? Soul is so pure, but why? By lust it is impure. Oh Krishna, oh descendant of Vrishni, by what one is impelled to sinful acts? Even unwillingly. I don't want to become impure, but unwillingly I am forced to become as if engaged by force. Okay. So living entity, you can see living entity how originally spiritual, pure and free from contamination. So soul is originally spiritual, pure and free from contamination. So pure soul is impure by lust. How? Oh Lord Krishna, oh descendant of Vrishni, please tell me. So when comes in contact with material nature, when soul, when soul or living entity comes in contact with material nature, lust is there in material nature, acts in many sinful ways without hesitation. You start doing some sinful acts automatically. Sometimes acts against his own will as if by force. Okay. Sometimes you perform sinful acts by own will and sometimes may not. So similarly, being in materially contaminated, okay, you and by practicing so, acting whimsically, performing sinful acts some by our own will and sometimes by force, is it impelled by a super soul within? Is it impelled? No, soul never said that you do this, perform any sinful act. But by your own nature, you get entangled into it. Arjuna is saying that how soul is so pure, originally spiritual, pure and free from contamination. How it gets impure? How it is getting impure? Oh Lord Krishna, please tell me. So this is the question asked by Arjuna to Lord Sri Krishna. So now Lord Krishna is answering the question of asked by Arjuna, how soul is getting impure by lust. So lust born in contact with mode of passion. What is the from where it gets born? Birth from material nature, mode of passion. Mode of passion. I want to lord over. I want to have so much wealth. I will become the lord. I will become proprietor. These are the thinking of a passionate people. So if you are a passionate, what will happen? This is one kind of contamination. This is one kind of contamination transformed into wrath, anger. Okay, passion. I want to have. But if you don't get, what will happen? Anger will come. What is anger? All devouring sinful enemy. Anger is very dangerous. Passion means I want to get, I want to get. If you don't get, what will happen? Anger will come. Then you will start thinking about other things. How can I get the things? How can I get the things? So passion, wrath, lust. Passion, wrath, lust. Then lust will destroy your life. Okay. So 3.37. श्रीभगवान् उवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्धेयन् एनम् इह वैरिणम् विद्धि एनम् इह वैरिणम् काम एष क्रोध एष रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्धि एनम् इह वैरिणम्. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all devouring sinful enemy of this world. So, because of this anger, the entire world is getting destroyed. Self destruction. Self destruction. Okay. So, originally spiritual, pure, and free from contamination. So, originally what? Living entity, soul, is originally spiritual, pure and free from contamination. So soul wants pure love, intense desire to serve Krishna. Then says, Soul wants to serve Krishna's senses because soul and super soul both are sitting together. So soul is the neighbor of super soul. Super soul is the neighbor of soul. So both are sitting together, like two birds are sitting on a branch of a tree. So super soul is a bird, soul is also a bird. Super soul is an observer and soul is an enjoyer. Actually, super soul is an enjoyer, but soul never understand these things. And just listening to mind, senses, intelligence, and soul is not listening the order of super soul. Actual enjoyer is super soul. Soul is not an enjoyer. But here it is written that soul is an enjoyer. That is wrong. That is wrong. So there where everything starts in the destructive mode. Okay. So originally soul is spiritual, pure and free from contamination. Pure love, intense desire to serve Krishna's services, senses. Misuse of partial independence. So here, what is the partial independence? That soul and super soul like a two birds. Soul is an enjoyer and super soul is an observer. So super soul has given a free will to soul, and that independence is destroying the entire things. So misuse of partial independence when comes in contact with material nature, purpose of material creation. So because of this purpose, this is the purpose of material creation, facility to the conditioned soul to fulfill lustful propensities. Okay, so the purpose of this material world is fulfill the desire of lustful propensity only. Okay, so that is the, so here comes in contact with mode of passion, eternal love for serving Krishna, transform into lust for serving one's own senses. Okay, it is like when milk comes in contact with tamarind, it becomes into yogurt. It becomes into yogurt. Okay, so comes in contact with mode of passion. What is that? Tamarind or curd. Okay, and what is the lust? Lust is the example of curd, yogurt. Okay, so when soul comes in contact with material nature or passion, that is tamarind, becomes lust. Okay, so when milk comes in contact with tamarind, becomes yogurt. Similarly, okay, so what is lust? Forces to act sinfully, all devouring sinful enemy. So lust is a sinful enemy. It devours all, everything. It forces soul to act sinfully. So lust is the origin. And who is the origin of lust? Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is the origin of lust. Okay, so when satisfied, when lust is satisfied, it becomes greed. When lust is not satisfied, it becomes anger. So anger comes from mode of ignorance. Anger is a part of mode of ignorance. How to elevate lust into mode of goodness? By prescribed method of living and acting. How you can convert this lust into good thing? By performing your prescribed duties, by performing ritual things, following Vedas, by following Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, following the order of Krishna, following the order of spiritual master. Okay, one can be saved from degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. So, what you can, instead of attaching to material, you can attach to spiritual Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna. So, lust will automatically vanish. Lust will automatically go away from you. So, when living entity is baffled by prolonged lustful activities, inquires about reality. Okay, so when you are confused, when you are annoyed with lust, oh, where I am. So if you start inquiring that, you come closer to Lord Krishna. You come closer to spiritual life. Inquires about Supreme, who is He, what is my relationship with Him, etc. Who am I? What is body? What is soul? This is all knowledge. If you know body and soul, you are in intelligence. You are close to Supreme Lord Krishna. How to make lust and wrath spiritualized. Desiring everything for Krishna consciousness. Okay, like Arjuna fought in the battlefield for Krishna. He followed the order of Krishna. So whatever sinful act he performed was not actually sinful. He was he was free from all sinful activity. Lord Hanumanji, Hanumanji, when he used his anger for Lord Rama, he burned entire Lanka into ash. But he did it for Lord Rama. So he has not performed any, he didn't perform any sinful activity. So Hanumanji did for Lord Rama and Arjuna did it for Lord Krishna. He follows the order of Lord Krishna. So this is the 3.37. Lust born in contact with mode of passion, transformed into wrath, all devouring sinful enemy. Then 3.38, degrees of covering of the lust on the living entity. We'll see next time from 3.38. Any question you can ask? Anyone, any question? Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question you can ask? No question. So we'll stop over here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समस्त गौर भक्तवृंद की जय।